The sting of being disliked is a universal human experience. Yet how often do we truly examine the roots of this hidden animosity? Marcus Aurelius, in his profound meditations, often urged self-reflection and the pursuit of inner peace, reminding us that the opinions of others are ultimately external and beyond our control. However, understanding potential reasons for others' disdain, not for their validation, but for our own growth, aligns perfectly with Stoic principles. This isn't about people actually hating you in the modern sense, but rather the subtle ways our actions might elicit negative sentiments or friction in our interactions. By dissecting these 7 potential reasons, we can cultivate a more mindful approach to our conduct and foster a greater sense of tranquility, regardless of external perceptions. Let us delve into these insights, remembering that true wisdom lies in self-awareness, not in seeking universal approval. Subscribe so we don't lose each other on this path of Stoic clarity. Reason 1. Your unchecked arrogance. The Stoics preached humility as a cornerstone of wisdom, recognizing that true knowledge lies in understanding the vastness of what we don't know. When we project an air of superiority, whether through constant boasting, dismissing others' opinions, or exhibiting an unshakable belief in our own infallibility, we naturally create a barrier. This isn't about having confidence in your abilities. A Stoic embraces competence, but rather the manner in which it is displayed. If every conversation becomes an opportunity to highlight your achievements, or if you consistently shut down alternative viewpoints, others will perceive this as a lack of respect and an inflated ego. They may not overtly challenge you, but a quiet resentment can fester. Marcus Aurelius himself, an emperor, constantly reminded himself of his own fallibility and the fleeting nature of power, demonstrating that true strength comes from acknowledging one's limitations. Cultivating genuine intellectual humility and an openness to learning from all sources will disarm this potential source of friction. Reason 2. Your constant complaining and pessimism. While it's natural to encounter difficulties, and Stoicism acknowledges the reality of suffering, a relentless focus on negativity can drain the vitality from any interaction. The Stoics teach us to distinguish between what is within our control and what is not. Dwelling on misfortunes that cannot be changed or perpetually highlighting the worst-case scenario in every situation creates a burdensome atmosphere for those around you. It's not about ignoring challenges, but about facing them with a resilient spirit and focusing on solutions or acceptance where appropriate. If every conversation is punctuated by gripes about work, relationships, or the state of the world, people will eventually begin to associate your presence with an emotional drain. They might subtly avoid you, seeking out more uplifting company. Marcus Aurelius urged gratitude for what we have and a steadfast resolve in the face of adversity, reminding us that our attitude towards circumstances is entirely within our power to shape. Reason 3. Your inability to listen and empathize. One of the most profound ways to connect with others, and indeed to learn, is through active listening. If every conversation with you feels like a monologue, or if you're constantly waiting for your turn to speak rather than truly absorbing what others are saying, you're signaling a lack of regard for their thoughts and feelings. Empathy, while not explicitly detailed in all Stoic texts, is a natural extension of understanding human nature and our interconnectedness. To truly understand another's perspective, even if you don't agree with it, is a powerful act of connection. When you consistently cut people off, invalidate their experiences, or redirect conversations back to yourself, you foster a sense of being unheard and unvalued. This creates distance and can lead to others feeling alienated or secretly resentful. Developing the discipline to genuinely listen, to ask thoughtful questions, and to acknowledge others' emotions, even if they are external to your own tranquil state, is a crucial Stoic practice for harmonious living. Reason 4. Your selfishness and lack of contribution. The Stoics believed in living a life of virtue, and a key aspect of this was contributing to the common good. While self-care is important, a relentless focus on one's own desires and needs, without any consideration for others or the broader community, will inevitably breed resentment. If you consistently take advantage of others' generosity, shirk responsibilities, or only engage in interactions when there's a benefit for you, people will perceive you as exploitative. They might feel used, and their willingness to engage with you will diminish. This isn't about sacrificing your own well-being, but about finding a balance and recognizing your role within a larger social fabric. Marcus Aurelius, despite his immense power, viewed himself as a servant of the Roman people, constantly striving to act justly and benevolently. Cultivating a spirit of generosity, offering your help when appropriate, and contributing fairly to shared endeavors will foster goodwill and mitigate the perception of selfishness. Reason 5. Your hypocrisy and inconsistency. Integrity and living in accordance with reason were paramount for the Stoics. When your words and actions are misaligned, or when you preach one standard for others but live by another yourself, you erode trust and invite cynicism. People observe inconsistencies. If you advocate for patience but explode in anger at minor inconveniences, or if you champion honesty but are caught in small deceptions, your credibility suffers. This isn't about striving for perfection, as Stoics acknowledged human fallibility, but about a consistent effort to align your character with your stated values. When people perceive you as two-faced or unreliable, they will naturally withdraw their trust and may develop a quiet disdain. True Stoic wisdom involves a continuous striving for congruence between your internal philosophy and your external behavior. Living authentically and making a genuine effort to practice what you preach will earn respect and avoid the accusation of hypocrisy. Reason 6. Your disregard for boundaries and personal space. Respect for the individual, while perhaps not framed in modern terms, is inherent in Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes each person's internal citadel and moral agency. Disregarding others' personal space, whether physical or emotional, is a common source of friction. This could manifest as constant unsolicited advice, invading their privacy, making inappropriate jokes, or consistently overstepping unspoken social lines. It's about a lack of awareness or respect for the individual autonomy and comfort of others. If you frequently make people feel uncomfortable or intruded upon, they will naturally create distance, perhaps subtly avoiding you or developing a sense of annoyance. Understanding that while we are all interconnected, each person has their own sphere of self-possession that should be respected is a crucial social skill. Cultivating mindful awareness of social cues and respecting unspoken limits will help you navigate interactions more gracefully and avoid unknowingly alienating others. Reason 7. Your envy and malice towards others' success. The Stoics taught us to focus on our own virtue and progress, rather than comparing ourselves to others. Envy, a corrosive emotion, not only harms the one who feels it, but also creates a toxic atmosphere around them. When you consistently downplay others' achievements, subtly undermine their efforts, or show clear signs of resentment towards their good fortune, you reveal a spirit of malice that others will quickly pick up on. This isn't about offering constructive criticism when asked, but about an underlying bitterness towards another's success. People are generally drawn to those who celebrate their victories and offer genuine support, not to those who begrudge their happiness. Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself to find joy in the good fortune of others and to recognize that their success does not diminish his own. Cultivating an attitude of genuine goodwill and celebrating others' accomplishments as if they were your own will foster positive relationships and eliminate this insidious source of secret animosity.